Hello YouTube! So today, what have we got inside this case? Shall we see, YouTube? Right, let's have a look. Let's undo the case. This is a Tokai BreezySound Telecaster guitar in a blonde finish. Beautiful blonde finish. Frets are all good. There's the BreezySound Tokai logo. Truss rod at the bottom. And this is made in Japan. That's the serial number on the back of the neck plate. It's in really good shape. As you can see, got a lovely neck. These are the Tokai tuning pegs, deluxe, vintage ones. So being it's made in Japan and it's Tokai, it will be Goto parts. It's quite light. But yeah, shall we plug it in? Shall we see how it sounds? Right, so I've got the Tokai plugged in. So it's, from what I know, from the owner I bought it from, he seemed quite genuine, and he said that it's all original. You've even got the original jack socket there, 50s jack socket. You've got the original bridge here as well, which is the original Japanese bridge, which can give an indication of how old it is. Now, the guy said to me it was 1991, from what he knew, and he said it was his first sort of electric guitar, proper electric guitar, where he could go out on stage with. So, and it all seemed genuine to me, but it's been played, but it's not been abused, if you know what I mean. I mean, when I felt it, it felt incredible to play, and I asked him, I said, is it set up? And he said, no, I've never needed to set it up, like send it off really to anybody, because it's just played so great. And I played it, and yeah, you know, there's little things we could improve with it, with a setup, but I mean, there's nothing really where I could say, I can't play it, you know, it's impossible to play because it needs set up from Alufia. If a guitar plays right and feels right, even without a proper sort of setup, means it's a good sign, it's a good guitar. And this guitar is light as well, it's not heavy. It's not a heavy guitar. Now, I did have an indication because of the headstock's proper. It's a proper headstock one. And also it just looks older. I had an indication that it was older than 1991. So, but maybe that's the year he got it, or he got it around that sort of time. Maybe that's when, you know, he bought it. So I had a feeling it was older than 1991, but still 1991 is old for a Tokai and a vintage guitar now. And these are made in Japan, and they're hard to get hold of, and people ask silly money for these things now, which, you know, I don't like, you know, but it is what it is. It's still a lovely guitar. So I really like these Tokais, and I've had a few in the past, if you look on the channel, but I've never had one where it's been like the proper sort of headstock. I've always had a slight difference a little bit, because they had to slightly change the headstock, around the late 80s, early 90s, which give me another indication, is this guitar older? And also it says made in Japan sticker, which is gives you another indication that it's older, because the newer ones have it stamped at the back of the neck, like the Fender Japan. The new ones, they say crafted in Japan instead of made in Japan. So that gave me another indication. And it's got a serial number on the back of the neck plate, which is just like a proper 50s telly, which gave me another indication that it's older. And everything just gave me an indication it was older. So I went on the Tokai group. Now, I'm not took it to bits. I don't want to take a guitar to bits, you know, if it plays right. And, you know, I am a guitarist at the end of the day, a musician. I'm not that obsessed. I don't want to get that obsessed with it. But all I know is that I took pictures, and on the Tokai group, I didn't say, you know, it was older. I just said, apparently it's 1991, and they turned around and said the guitar's a lot older. So it's an 80s Tokai, which is great, you know. The Tokais in the 80s are really sought after guitars, now really become vintage guitars. So made in Japan. And some folks, you know, swear that these are better than Americans and better than custom shops and stuff like that. But all I can say, it's a sweet, beautiful sounding guitar, and beautiful to play. And you know, something you could probably even improve. And I mean, it's got really thin strings on it, which are not for me. So they probably will go. I'll probably bang some 11s on it, 11s to 48, which these strings, I got these for my birthday, these strings. That's another reason why I got this guitar as well. It's my birthday, and well, it was my birthday yesterday, sorry. It was my birthday yesterday, and I bought this guitar in person, and as a birthday treat sort of thing. I've always wanted a 50s Telecaster. I didn't want to buy a Mexican one, because I think anybody can go out there and buy a Mexican one, and there's no real character to it, if you know what I mean. I mean, this is you know, something you don't see every day. So yeah, I mean, a lot of them are in Japan. So and to get you know, obviously sent over here now, it's silly, you know, because it's just silly. So yeah, apparently it's a lot older. So I'm not sure exactly yet on the year, but people have said to me it's a lot older. Another indication, it gives you a clue that it's a lot older, this bridge. This is an 80s Japanese Goto bridge. And it's not like your 50s free saddle. The newer Tokais do have a free saddle one. And yeah, I mean, Tokai got a lot of stick from Fender, so they had to change a lot of things. I mean, back in 1979, 1980, or the real early Tokais, they had the free saddle thing, free saddle bridge. And they had to obviously change that a little bit. So to obviously, you know, to show that they, you know, weren't exactly outdoing them and copying the guitars. Now, I've seen JVs in this colour, E-Series at Squire Japan, very similar guitars. This feels great, isn't it? It really does feel like a mid 80s Fender Japan Squire neck. Very similar. I mean, I think they're made from the same people. Fuji Gem factory. Yeah, so let's hear it anyway. I mean, comment below if you know more about Tokais, and I really like the guitars. So they're real. They have always been real players' guitars, a musician's guitar, but they are becoming a bit collectible, and the hype is going up on them, and I don't like that though. But it is what it is, you know. Everybody knows now with the internet how good these guitars are and how good a Squier Japanese Strat is. Everybody knows how good the guitars are now, made in Japan. So to get a made in Japan guitar today, you're talking silly money, just as much as American guitar. It is what it is. So yeah, let's try the neck pickup. So that was the middle position, bridge position. So yeah, all the tone knobs work. They're definitely the original electronics. You can hear that as well. I mean, they're probably the weakest part of the guitar, but well, to some folks, they sound like a 50s telly. They're like the, you know, Squier Japan from the 80s, the same sort of thing, the pickups. The sound of it, I mean, yeah, it plays great, as it is. So what I'm going to do now is put a bit of drive off this line 6. I'm using a line 6 amp, by the way. I have not said which amp I'm using. It's a line 6 valve amp. Yeah, DT, what is it? DT 20, I think. Yeah. DT25, sorry. DT25 valve amp. Great little amp. Valve amp. So yeah, yeah, I'm really, you know, I'm not really a telly guy, but I really fell in love with this one, and I really like the look of it, and you don't see many of these about, so yeah, I thought I'd snap it up. So it feels great, yeah. I mean, some people would compare this to a Squier Classic 5. No, I don't. No. This is so much better. But yeah, I'm not into the newer guitars, to be honest. I'm not into the classic vibe guitars or the new Epiphones. They're just not for me. I like the old Japanese stuff, and yeah, I mean, I like the USA Gibson stuff, but trouble with that, it can be inconsistent as well. Squier Japan, Tokai Japan, Fender Japan, same thing, you know, Squier. Very consistent guitars. You know, Phoenix as well. They're very, very, very good. And Phoenix guitars don't cost a lot at all. But I mean, these didn't cost a lot at all years ago, but people have got hold of how good they are now, and they are becoming hyped up, you know, like everything does eventually, but doesn't stop me getting one. I really, really wanted it at the end of the day, and it was my birthday. So it was my birthday yesterday, and I thought, why not? Just get it, you know? You won't see that again. You'll see another Mexican Strat, you know what I mean? Again, there's loads of them. There's loads of Mexican Strats out there. You'll see another USA Strat even. You know, again, there's loads of them. And there's loads of Gibsons out there. So yeah, I thought, yeah, get that. It's cool. You know, Joanne Shaw Taylor is one of my heroes. She plays a blonde telly, you know. Very similar to this. Let me put a bit of drive on. Okay, got a bit of drive off the amp. It's on the Vox AC37. Position. Like and subscribe to Lost Groove Music.